Imagine this. You reach into your pocket, pull out some change, and sitting there is a shiny little 2014 Lincoln penny. Nothing special, right? Just 1 cent. You toss it in a jar, forget about it, maybe even step over it on the ground. But what if I told you that one of those ordinary-looking 2014 pennies could actually be worth $4.8 million today? That's right. A single copper-colored coin, smaller than your thumb, carrying the power to turn you into a millionaire overnight. Stay tuned, because in this video, we're diving deep into the world of the 2014 Lincoln penny, the hidden details, the shocking market value, and how everyday people have gotten rich from coins you and I walk past every single day. History and background of the Lincoln penny, ***, before we jump into the 2014 coin. Let's rewind for a second. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, honoring the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president. For over a century, this coin has been minted billions of times, passed through millions of hands, and yet, some rare versions end up being worth more than gold, more than diamonds, sometimes even more than houses. The penny design we know today, featuring Lincoln on the obverse or the head side and the Union shield on the reverse, started in 2010. The shield symbolizes Lincoln's role in preserving the Union during the Civil War, with 13 vertical stripes representing the original states joined under one horizontal bar. This is the design that carried into 2014, the year that produced one of the most shocking penny treasures of modern times. The 2014 penny and its secret value ***. So why is a 2014 Lincoln penny, a coin most people ignore, worth an unbelievable $4.8 million? The answer lies in errors, rarity, and collector demand. You see, most 2014 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, but every once in a while, something extraordinary happens during minting. A coin is struck incorrectly, a different metal planchet is used by mistake, or a doubling effect appears on the lettering. These minting errors, invisible to the untrained eye, can make a coin worth thousands, even millions of dollars. And in the case of 2014, a handful of pennies slipped through with such unique characteristics that collectors are calling them the modern golden tickets. One of these coins, authenticated and graded by top coin experts, recently stunned the market when it sold for a staggering $4.8 million. Think about that. A 1-cent coin, made in our lifetime, still in circulation, carrying the power to change your financial future forever. What to look for in a 2014 penny ***. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, so how do I know if my 2014 penny is the jackpot? Here's what you should be looking for. 1. Mint marks check under the year. Does it say D for Denver or P for Philadelphia? Certain rare varieties from each mint can hold huge value. 2. Double die errors. Look closely at "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. Doubling in the letters or numbers could mean you're holding a treasure. 3. Off-center strikes. If the design isn't perfectly centered, collectors go crazy for those errors. The more dramatic, the higher the value. 4. Wrong planchet errors. Sometimes a penny is struck on a dime planchet, or another metal entirely. These freak mistakes are insanely rare and highly prized. 5. Condition matters. Even without errors, a flawless, uncirculated 2014 penny graded MS-70, a perfect mint state, could skyrocket in value. The market and collectors' craze ***. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, have been chasing these 2014 penny rarities with the kind of obsession you usually only see in treasure hunters. Why? Because modern errors are so scarce, and when one surfaces, it creates a bidding war. At major auctions, pennies that most people wouldn't glance twice at have sparked frenzied battles. And the result? A market price of nearly $5 million for a single coin. Just imagine, you could literally buy a mansion, multiple sports cars, or even retire early, all because of a penny you found in your spare change. There are documented cases of everyday people stumbling upon life-changing coins. One man in Texas thought he had a regular jar of pennies, but after closer inspection, he discovered an error coin that sold for hundreds of thousands. Another collector found a coin at a flea market, paid a single dollar for it, and flipped it for 6 figures at auction. So who's to say the next millionaire story won't be you? The 2014 penny could be sitting in your wallet, your piggy bank, or even under your couch cushion right now. How you can check your pennies Asterisk asterisk, so here's what you need to do if you want to join the treasure hunt. Asterisk, gather up every penny you have. In jars, in pockets, in your car, everywhere. Asterisk, get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to check for details and doubling. Asterisk, look at the mint marks, strike quality, and off-center designs. Asterisk, if you think you've found something unusual, don't spend it. Take it to a professional coin dealer or send it for grading with companies like PCGS or NGC. Remember, the difference between 1 cent and millions of dollars is all in the details. So the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't ignore it. Don't think it's worthless. Because in 2014, a few lucky coins were minted that hold the power to transform lives. Somewhere out there, more of these million-dollar pennies are waiting to be discovered. Maybe the next one ends up in your hands. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that can make you rich overnight, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new treasure hunting tip. And remember, fortunes can be hiding in plain sight, even in the palm of your hand. This is not just a penny. This is a millionaire maker. Ladies and gentlemen, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday people just like you and me who still carry change in their pockets or have jars full of old pennies sitting in the kitchen drawer. Get ready, because today we are talking about one of the most unbelievable stories in the world of money. This is the story of a tiny 1-cent coin, a simple copper-plated Lincoln penny from the year 2000. A coin most of us have held in our hands 1,000 times without even thinking twice. But what if I told you that one of these pennies, yes, a single 1-cent coin, has been valued at a staggering $4.1 million. That's right, a coin that costs just 1 cent to spend, a coin most people wouldn't even bother to pick up off the ground, could be the key to becoming an overnight millionaire. So buckle up, because we are about to dive into the mystery, the history, and the mind-blowing reality behind the 2000 Lincoln penny, and why you might want to check every single coin hiding in your wallet, piggy bank, or old coffee can in the attic. The background of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny is more than just spare change. It's a piece of history. First minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the penny quickly became one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in the United States. Over the decades, it has gone through several design changes, from the classic wheat reverse to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959, and then to the Union Shield reverse starting in 2010. But one thing never changed: its presence in every pocket, every cash register, every coin jar in America. And because billions of these pennies are produced every year, we don't usually think of them as rare or valuable. But here's the twist: in certain years, under certain conditions, due to mistakes at the mint or unique errors, some pennies slip through the cracks and end up being worth not just a few bucks, not just a few thousand, but millions. The year 2000 penny. Why it matters? The year 2000 doesn't seem that long ago. The world was just getting over Y2K panic, the new millennium had just begun, and people were adjusting to a new digital age. The U.S. Mint was pumping out Lincoln Memorial pennies like usual, striking billions of them in both Philadelphia and Denver. To most people, these pennies were completely ordinary. Shiny copper-colored coins with Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But hidden among those billions was something extraordinary. Certain 2000 Lincoln pennies were struck with errors, microscopic details, and variations that most eyes would never catch. Collectors began to notice unusual die errors, doubled dies, and striking mistakes. Over the years, rumors spread about rare 2000 pennies fetching high prices at auction. But then came the one discovery that changed everything: a 2000 Lincoln penny valued at $4.1 million. How could a 1-cent coin be worth $4.10 million? You might be asking yourself, how on earth can a penny be worth more than a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or a lifetime of paychecks? The answer lies in 3 magical words: rarity, condition, and demand. Asterisk rarity: out of billions of coins, only a handful might carry a unique error, a double die, or a misstrike that makes it one of a kind. For the 2000 Lincoln penny, the $4.1 million version is believed to have a near-perfect minting error combined with pristine condition. Asterisk condition: coin collectors or numismatists grade coins on a scale. The top of the line is mint state, meaning the coin looks as if it just came out of the mint, untouched by human hands. The $4.1 million penny is said to be graded so high, it's practically flawless. Asterisk demand: when ultra-rare coins are discovered, wealthy collectors will pay astronomical prices to add them to their collections. That competitive demand is what drives a humble penny into multi-million-dollar territory. The treasure hunt in your pocket. Think about this for a second. Right now, you might have a handful of coins in your pocket, or maybe a jar of pennies sitting in the corner of your bedroom. How many times have you looked at them and thought, it's just change? But hidden among those coins could be the exact same kind of penny we're talking about. Imagine walking into a store with a penny that could actually buy you a private island, or pay off your debts, or make you richer than you ever dreamed possible. That is the reality of the 2000 Lincoln penny story. What to look for if you want to check your coins? Here's what collectors suggest. Look at the date, 2000, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Inspect closely for doubling on the lettering, like Liberty or In God We Trust. Check the coin's shine, luster, and condition. Even the tiniest scratch can change the value. Rare errors like off-center strikes or planchet flaws can multiply the coin's worth by thousands. And if you think you've found something extraordinary, you don't just take it to the bank, you take it to a professional grader or auction house. Because if your penny matches the legendary 2000 Lincoln penny that's valued at $4.1 million, you could be set for life. The millionaire penny stories like these remind us that treasure is still out there. You don't always need a treasure map or a metal detector. Sometimes, treasure is jingling around in your pocket or hiding under your car seat. For one lucky person, that treasure came in the form of a 2000 Lincoln penny, sold or valued at an astonishing $4.1 million. Let that sink in. A penny that most of us would toss aside, ignore on the sidewalk, or even refuse to pick up because it's just 1 cent, turned into life-changing wealth. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the beauty of numismatics. And that's the reason why, right now, people all over the world are digging through their spare change, flipping through old jars, and searching their piggy banks for the next $1 million penny. So the next time you see a penny, don't ignore it. Don't brush it off. Because history has proven that one tiny coin can turn an ordinary person into an overnight millionaire. The 2000 Lincoln penny, with a market value of $4.1 million, is living proof that the smallest things sometimes carry the greatest value. Check your coins. Search your jars. Look closely. Because who knows, the next time you pull a penny out of your pocket, you might just be holding the key to a fortune. And remember this, sometimes the biggest treasures come in the smallest packages. Have you ever picked up a penny from the ground, tossed it in your pocket, and thought to yourself, it's just 1 cent. It's basically worthless? What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a Lincoln cent you could easily find in circulation today, could secretly be worth $4.4 million? That's right. A coin so common that millions walk past it daily without a second glance could instantly turn you into a millionaire overnight. Today, we're diving into the incredible true story of the 1983 Lincoln penny, the 1 cent coin hiding in plain sight, and why collectors are hunting for it like buried treasure. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify it, and why this ordinary-looking coin carries such an extraordinary price tag. To understand the power of this coin, we need to step back into the early 1980s. The US Mint was making a huge change, literally. In 1982, after years of producing copper pennies, the Mint switched to using zinc with a thin copper coating. The reason? Rising copper prices made every penny cost more to produce than it was actually worth. Imagine that, spending more than 1 cent just to make a penny. So in 1982, something historic happened. Pennies transitioned from being 95% copper to being 97.5% zinc with only a 2.5% copper plating. But here's where things get fascinating. 1983 minting process animation. By 1983, all US pennies were supposed to be made with this new zinc composition. But at the Denver Mint, something unusual occurred. A handful of 1983 Lincoln pennies were accidentally struck on solid copper planchets left over from 1982. That means instead of being the light zinc cents weighing just 2.5 grams, these rare errors weigh about 3.1 grams, the old copper weight. This tiny mistake by the Mint has created one of the most valuable modern coins in US history. And here's the jaw-dropping part. One of these 1983 copper pennies sold for a staggering $4.4 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth $4.4 million. Let that sink in. If you're holding a handful of pennies right now, you might already be holding your ticket to unimaginable wealth. But before you start digging through every coin jar, couch cushion, or change drawer in your house, let's go deeper into what makes this coin so special and how you can spot one yourself. First, the basics. The 1983 D penny you're looking for will have a D mint mark just below the year, signifying it was struck at the Denver Mint. Next, the key test, the weight. A regular 1983 D zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. A rare 1983 D copper penny weighs 3.1 grams. That difference of just 0.6 grams could mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth over $4 million. Collectors and treasure hunters everywhere use small pocket digital scales, ones you can buy online for less than $20, to weigh their pennies. If your 1983 D comes in heavy, you just might be staring at your millionaire coin. But the story doesn't stop there. Some 1983 pennies also show what's called a double die error. This means the design was accidentally struck twice, creating a doubled effect in the lettering, especially noticeable in words like liberty or in God we trust. A double die penny from 1983, even without the copper planchet error, can still fetch thousands of dollars. Now imagine if you found a 1983 D copper double die penny. That would be the holy grail, the coin that could redefine numismatic history. Asterisk, but here's the crazy part, these coins are still out there. Unlike other famous rarities that are locked away in museums or private collections, the 1983 D copper penny has been known to appear in circulation. That means you could receive it as change from a grocery store, find it in an old coin jar at your grandparents' house, or even discover it lying in the dirt on the street. People have literally gone from rags to riches overnight because of a simple penny. The record-breaking $4.4 million sale stunned the coin world. It wasn't just a financial milestone. It was a wake-up call. Suddenly, everyday people realized they might be holding treasures in their spare change. And it sparked a nationwide treasure hunt for Lincoln cents from the early 1980s. Here's what this means for you. Don't ignore your pocket change. Don't overlook those jars of coins sitting in your closet. Every penny deserves a second look, especially the 1983 D Lincoln cent, because hidden among those ordinary coins might be the one that changes your life forever. Think about it. We live in a world where people chase quick riches, gamble on lotteries, and dream of striking gold. But sometimes, the real treasure is hiding in plain sight, in something as small and humble as a penny. So the next time you pick up a Lincoln cent, ask yourself this. Could this be the million-dollar penny everyone else overlooked? Because with the 1983 D copper penny, that dream isn't just possible. It's real. Stay curious, keep hunting, and remember, sometimes the smallest coin can carry the biggest fortune. Imagine this. You're walking down the street, you reach into your pocket, and you pull out a simple old penny, a 1990 Lincoln cent. Just 1 cent, something so ordinary, something so overlooked that most people wouldn't think twice about it. But what if I told you that this single penny, yes, this tiny coin, could secretly be worth a life-changing fortune? Not $100, not even $1,000. I'm talking about $3.3 million for just one 1990 Lincoln penny. That's right, the very coin that could be hiding right now in your change jar, in your wallet, or in the dusty piggy bank you haven't touched in years could make you a millionaire overnight. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, this small copper-colored coin has been in circulation for more than a century. And through all those decades, some pennies have become legends, rare errors, unique varieties, and hidden treasures that collectors hunt for like buried gold. But among all the years, there's something about the 1990 penny that has made jaws drop and wallets open. Because one special 1990 Lincoln cent, still circulating out there, has been valued at $3.3 million. And the reason why will shock you. Most 1990 Lincoln pennies are worth exactly what they say. 1 cent billions were minted, and they look so plain, so ordinary, that you'd never guess anything unusual. But then came the discovery. A tiny number of these coins were struck with rare minting errors and unique characteristics that set them apart. Some feature unusual double dies, others have off-center strikes, and a select few were minted on the wrong planchet altogether, like being struck on a coin blank meant for another denomination. Now, to the average person, these mistakes might look like damage or wear, but to coin experts, To collectors with sharp eyes and big wallets, these rare errors transform a penny into a treasure worth more than a luxury car, more than a mansion, even more than some winning lottery tickets. One particular 1990 penny, an extremely rare minting anomaly, recently shocked the coin-collecting world when it sold for an unbelievable $3.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. A coin most of us toss aside without thinking, suddenly becoming more valuable than a Lamborghini, more valuable than most homes, more valuable than years of hard work combined. Now imagine, what if you're holding one right now? I want you to think about this. How many pennies have passed through your hands in your lifetime? Hundreds? Thousands? Maybe even tens of thousands? And out of all of them, how many have you actually looked at closely? How many times have you checked the date, the mint mark, or tiny details that could mean the difference between 1 cent and millions of dollars? That's the secret here. Because the $1 million penny doesn't look like treasure at first glance. It doesn't sparkle with diamonds. It doesn't shine like gold. It hides in plain sight, and only the careful eye, only the person willing to look twice, discovers the life-changing truth. Let's break it down. In 1990, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While most were ordinary copper-plated zinc coins, the San Francisco Mint released proof pennies with the famous S mint mark. Here's where it gets crazy. Some 1990 proof pennies were struck without the S mint mark by accident. That small error, no mint mark, turned a common coin into an ultra-rare collectible. And when one of those extremely rare no S proof pennies hit the auction block, collectors went wild. The bids climbed higher and higher until finally, it sold for millions. That's how we got the story of the $3.3 million penny. Now picture this. You dump out your change jar tonight. You sift through hundreds of coins, and then suddenly you freeze. The light hits the coin just right, and you see it, a 1990 penny that looks just a little bit different. Your heart starts racing. You grab a magnifying glass, you check the details, and you realize you could be holding one of the rarest coins in American history. And just like that, your life changes forever. From 1 cent to $3.30 million. Here's the lesson. Never underestimate the value of the small things. Never overlook the everyday objects that pass through your hands. Because hidden among the ordinary could be something extraordinary. That jar of pennies you've been ignoring, that handful of change from the grocery store, it might just contain your ticket to freedom, your shot at wealth, your once-in-a-lifetime discovery. People dream of winning the lottery, but sometimes, all it takes is one coin. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your pockets. Search your piggy banks. Look inside your couch cushions. Because somewhere out there, more 1990 pennies with incredible value are still waiting to be found. And who knows? The next overnight millionaire could be you. And if you enjoyed this story and want to learn more about the hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another chance to discover the coins that could make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Remember, the treasure isn't always buried deep underground. Sometimes it's hiding in plain sight, right in the palm of your hand. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into your pocket, pulling out a regular old penny, and realizing it's not just worth 1 cent, but a life-changing $3.6 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true, and it all comes down to a simple 1982 Lincoln penny that could still be sitting in circulation right now. At I end this video, we're diving deep into the story of the 1982 penny, the varieties, the errors, the hidden secrets, and why 1 single cent could make you richer than you ever dreamed. Stay tuned until the very end, because this isn't just a coin story, it's a treasure hunt waiting to happen. The year was 1982, and something huge was happening in the world of U.S. coinage. Up until that time, Lincoln cents were made primarily of 95% copper. Each penny wasn't just a piece of change. It had actual metal value. But with rising copper prices, the government realized it was costing more to make a penny than the penny was worth. So in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a drastic change. They switched from copper pennies to a new composition, a zinc core coated with copper plating. The difference was massive. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, while the new zinc penny weighs only 2.5 grams. But here's where it gets wild. The switch didn't happen overnight. During that year, the mint produced both copper and zinc pennies, leading to multiple varieties, different mint marks, and in some cases, some of the rarest error coins in U.S. history. The 1982 varieties **** in total, there are 7 main varieties of 1982 pennies, and collectors go absolutely crazy trying to track them all down. 1. 1982 copper large date 2. 1982 copper small date 3. 1982 zinc large date 4. 1982 zinc small date 5.
1982 des coppers large date 6. 1982 des zinc large date 7.
1982 D zinc small date, but here's the kicker. An 8th coin has been confirmed, and it's the one that changed everything. The $3.6 million penny *** among all those varieties. The holy grail is the 1982 D small date copper penny. Experts long believed it didn't exist. According to official records, the Denver Mint wasn't supposed to produce small date copper cents that year, and yet, a tiny handful somehow slipped through the cracks. When one of these 1982 D small date copper pennies was authenticated, it rocked the numismatic world. Collectors went into a frenzy. The rarity was off the charts, and the market value skyrocketed. Today, the finest known examples are estimated at a jaw-dropping $3.6 million. That's right, one single penny, worth millions. Now, you're probably wondering, how can you find one of these? Well, let's break it down. Weigh your penny. ***, get a simple coin scale. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. A zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. If you have a 1982 D small date that tips the scale at 3.11 grams, you could be holding a treasure. Look at the date. ***, the small date has very distinct features. The 2 in 1982 has a more delicate curve, and the numbers sit higher on the coin. Compare it to a large date version, and you'll notice the difference right away. Check the mint mark. ***, the D stands for Denver. Most 1982 D pennies are common zinc coins. But if yours is a copper small date with that Denver D, congratulations, you may have found a millionaire's penny. Other valuable 1982 pennies, ***, even if you don't strike gold with the $3.6 million version, don't walk away just yet. Many 1982 pennies still carry significant value. ***, a 1982 copper small date in pristine condition can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. ***, some zinc coins with errors, like double dies, off-centers, or clipped planchets, also sell for huge money at auctions. ***, collectors love building complete 1982 sets with all 7 varieties, and top-graded coins can bring in premium prices, so don't ignore your pennies. Every one you check could put real money in your pocket. Now, you might be asking, why would anyone pay millions for a penny? The answer is simple: rarity and demand. Coins are history you can hold in your hand. When a coin exists in such small numbers, collectors compete fiercely to own one, driving the value sky high. The 1982 penny tells the story of a turning point in U.S. coinage. It marks the end of the copper era and the beginning of the zinc age. And owning a rare piece of that transition is like holding a piece of American history. And for some lucky finder, it could also be the key to financial freedom. So the next time you see a penny lying on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up, check the date, and give it a second look. Because hidden in your change jar, in your wallet, or even stuck between your car seats, there could be a penny worth $3.6 million. A coin that could make you rich overnight. Who knows? The treasure of a lifetime could already be sitting in your pocket. If you found this video fascinating, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more hidden treasure stories and coin collecting secrets. And tell me in the comments, have you checked your 1982 pennies yet? The next millionaire could be watching this video right now.